Go Pizza presents SCP. The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle and Adam Wilde.
What's more Canadian than an outdoor game in -20 between the Montreal Canadiens
Have we started?
and the Ottawa Senators?
What's more Canadian? Well, definitely a game between two Canadian teams that matter. For sure.
Well, first, I thought you were going to say a game including the Chicago Blackhawks because it's an outdoor game.
What's more Canadian? I mean, the answer is clearly the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah. But what's also more Canadian than having an owner go on TV before the game and say, well, we might have to sell the team.
If the fans earn it, they won't, though.
If the fans earn it. That was my favorite part. Now,
He's just arrogant.
just to contextualize this for a second. Eugene Melnick said if things became disastrous, then he would have to sell the team.
Here, how about this?
He actually said, I'd have to move the team. Now, the best part about this is that, no, we can't. And Gary Bettman had to get on TV and say, well, no, we can't. Can we just all pay attention to the game? And for the first time in my life, I found myself agreeing with Gary Bettman.
So you were just talking before the show about a problem neighbor that you used to have. You were just talking about a problem neighbor. Mm-hmm. And before you started talking about your problem neighbor, there was a little air of, is Eugene Melnick Bettman's problem neighbor, his problem client? He is a client.
It sounds like it.
He's one of the 31 owners. Or whatever.
Now, the thing is that, Steve.
Yes.
At what point, as an owner, do you have the media figured out? Like, first off, you shouldn't be talking to the media. Have you ever heard from Larry Tannenbaum? Ever?
No, he didn't even respond when I tapped him on the shoulder and said, hey, great job.
Rightfully
You're
so.
doing a great job.
Like, you never hear. Do you ever hear from the CEO of Rogers or Bell, who are part owners in MLSE?
It's extremely rare. I don't know the name of the person who runs Rogers now. I know that there's a new one.
Joe Natale.
It's an Italian. Mm-hmm. A Paisan. I did not know that.
Very nice man.
I
Big
bet.
hands. I shook his hand once and I was like, wow.
Wow.
That is a far superior hand
He
to
should
mine.
run for president. Because that's what they're missing. They need it.
Truly.
They need a big hand. But you began this story with Eugene Melnick said. When was the last time Eugene Melnick said was followed by anything productive or good? Shut up.
Why is he allowing himself to take these press conferences?
Why is he allowing himself? Because he's old and rich and can't help it. It goes back to a conversation we've had I don't know how many times now. How do these owners, how did they originally make their money? Presumably it was doing something smart.
Yeah.
So
Can I read these quotes verbatim?
Please,
Yes.
yes.
It's very aggressive. If it doesn't look good here, it could look very, very nice somewhere else. But I'm not suggesting that right now. All I'm saying is that I would never sell the team. At one point, one of the two have to break. You can't keep spending at the top end and getting the lowest revenues. Here, we're fighting every day to sell a ticket, honest to God. When you get to the third round of the playoffs and you're begging people to buy a ticket, something's wrong with that picture. So we're just hoping that changes.
And now, here's what I've been wrestling with. Nothing he said was actually wrong.
Yeah.
Nothing he said was actually wrong, but one, you probably shouldn't say that in general. Two, you're going to have the national media's attention tomorrow, Dick. Shut up. Shut up. They just won a huge game against the Rangers. They got this thing. How unbelievably stoked is Pierre Dorian and Eugene Melnick that the Senators pulled off that win?
Oh, boy.
If they don't pull off that win...
Boy. If Montreal wasn't as bad as they were bad.
They were. And all we talk about is they had an opportunity to get out of that little stretch after that big Rangers win. This game comes up, all eyes on Ottawa, and he's got to say that crap. And then they lose, and they potentially start another streak. Oh, is he so lucky? And now it's all about, they won the outdoor game. And did you see that cute video of Erik Karlsson at the gender reveal doing the slap shot? And it's blue.
Dancing on the bench.
Boy, he's jumping up and down and he's dancing on the bench. He plays half an hour and he's back. Oh, it's
Taking shots off the ankle like a true warrior.
And everybody forgot that in the first period, he was grimacing at his ankle. And he almost had to.
Yeah.
He limped off the ice.
Well,
line
yeah.
changes.
Take a slap shot off the ankle.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Now, forget that it's been reconstructed. You take a slap shot off an ankle, it's going to hurt. That'll have me limping for days.
But I mean, titanium, and adamantium, it does heal
And
itself.
unobtainium.
And
Am I right?
I forget which one that one
That's from
is.
the Blue Creatures movie, the
Blue Man
Avatar.
Crew? Oh,
Where they're searching for unobtainium.
the Blue Creatures
The
movie?
Blue Creatures
The
movie.
Smurfs.
Yeah.
Adam, you're going to like this, the headline from the CBC Sports article.
Oh.
That
Is it
had the
punny?
quote. They said, Sens owner, Melnick, his relocation talks put a chill on NHL 100 festivities.
Whoa! All right,
good.
CBC. Well done. Well done.
Very
well
good.
played.
You
NHL
should
headlines
definitely
return for a second there.
Man, I
you
miss
should
those.
write headlines in like the Batman universe. It's nice to see you. Or wait, was that McBain
Yeah, I think that was
or
McBain.
Mr. Freeze?
I think it
Damn
was
it.
McBain. I think you were referencing The Simpsons.
Whatever. Who is referencing Arnold?
So here's the thing. Even if you are having all those issues, the time to talk about that is not right before the biggest game of your season, of your regular season. And the thing was, it was absolutely beautiful. 34,000 people, minus 20, Parliament buildings, stunning.
Justin Trudeau was there.
Justin Trudeau-
hanging out with Ron McLean.
Not even wearing a hat. Not even wearing a hat. Because no. I mean, it's minus 20. I'm wearing a hat. He's not wearing a hat.
Sens made the third round of the playoffs last year, and that's when they got mainstream media attention because Leafs played in the first round. We talked about their first round exit for the entirety of the second round.
That's kind of true.
Then, think of how hard Ottawa fans, I'm with you on this one. The Leafs probably maybe do get a little more attention than they deserve. The Sens maybe should have been paid more attention to.
Totally.
During their playoff run. Think of how hard you have to fight and kick and scratch to get national media attention in this country. And that's what he does with it. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was talking about it.
I don't think Americans can relate to this in the same way because I have to tell you, there isn't a lot of national media anything in this country. Like national in this country,
Canada?
yeah, it's becoming more and more national. But for the longest time, it's been very localized, right? It's very much like Toronto news, Calgary news, Edmonton news, right? Because everybody's like, we're very regional in the sense that we're like, I don't care what's happening in another province. I care about what's happening in my neighborhood. Yeah, and that's the same for any region around the country. And if you do a national show, tendency is that a lot of it comes out of Toronto and Ottawa because Toronto's a big city and Ottawa's where the government is. Mm-hmm. So, that tends to be where the national coverage comes. But in sports, it's like there is no, you know what I mean? So there isn't, we don't have like a CNN. We don't have, they exist. We have a new,
CBC, I guess, would be the closest.
Yeah,
it's
we've
more
got,
like a BBC than a CNN.
CTV's got Newsnet, and I think Global's got something too. But
that's
there's,
true.
they're not, CNN is a massive entity. CTV Newsnet, people are like, oh yeah, I forgot that existed.
And even Sportsnet has their main studios here, but they also got Vancouver studios.
Yes.
Calgary studios. Do they have Edmonton studios?
I don't know.
I think so.
I would think so.
Winnipeg?
Yep.
And Winnipeg's got TSN as well.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just one of those things. It's different, right? So when there is a national focus, it's a big deal. It's a big deal here.
Yep.
That's
and
why
they
Hockey
blew
Night
it.
Canada is. Yeah,
And they blew it. Completely blew it. Because me! Who, me? Eugene Melnick should be a journalist.
He should.
He should be a sports reporter.
Wow.
I
Hey,
don't know.
No, he shouldn't.
why? Top 20
10
owners.
reasons why you should just donate $1 million to me.
Top 20 owners in NHL history ranked. You won't believe that I'm all of them.
How unhappy are you going to be when the city of Ottawa pays for a downtown arena?
Oh, I'm going to
No.
be so upset.
Wait, entirely?
I think this is coming.
Listen, that's going to happen.
Is this not the precursor to them buying him a new arena in downtown
Yes.
Ottawa? right next to Parliament Hill there?
Yes. And somewhere Ken King is going, he's taking out of my playbook.
Yeah, okay.
This is my
Erik
play.
Francis is going, you're doing the right thing by buying that arena.
So let me ask this then. Do you have to be a certain type of person to get that type of money?
I don't think you do. I think that there are, to paint rich people with one brush would be, I think,
I'm not talking about rich people.
Well, he's a rich guy.
Wealthy.
Okay, wealthy. I think to paint wealthy people with that brush, like Bill Gates is extremely wealthy.
But he's also the exception. He's rare. And I think we cite him as an example. I think you just said the guy I was about to say because he's the rarity.
No,
how many wealthy people do you know?
Yeah, a guy like Steve Ballmer.
Yeah.
He's also an exception.
Steve Jobs is an a-hole, but he also did some good
Clippers.
things, but also some terrible things.
There are exceptions. I don't think painting somebody with this, painting a whole group of people.
Listen,
I'm just looking at the impending Sens awfulness, the Calgary situation.
Have you heard about the Carolina
Cates
Panthers?
And his shenanigans. Oh my God. Okay, never in a million years are they going to sell the team to Diddy
No,
and
it's
Colin
happening.
Kaepernick.
No, it's happening.
No, it's
dude.
happening. It's gonna. This
will
is the
happen.
turn.
Can they please?
Steph Curry's in.
This
I
is
want to. Oh my God! I want to watch that so much.
Listen, Diddy, we were just talking about this on the show last week. Diddy, I think, he's always in the top 5 for music or money made by people in the music business. And this year he won, like beating up Beyonce, Drake, The Weeknd by like $60 or $70 million.
So it's going to be, I want to buy a football team. And they'll be like, no. And then he'll just slide
He'll just give them the
billions
money.
of dollars across the table. Sorry.
It won't be him.
I meant to say, I want to buy a football team. Oh, yes, right this way, Mr. Diddy.
It'll be him and a group of people, hopefully, and he gets to buy the team. And he gets to be the face of the franchise. I'd love that.
Oh man, can you imagine? It'd just be like Mace concerts before every Carolina Panthers game. That'd be sweet.
See, no, because then nobody would show up.
Oh, I'd show up for one of the Mace concerts. Come
I
on.
don't know.
Mace is doing the halftime again.
I just still like the Charlemagne story from his book about Mace.
Oh, I forgot
Where
that.
Mace gets in his face and his security guard basically picks him up like a child. And he's like, listen, I just want to talk. I just want to talk.
Anyways.
I just wonder if you got to be a certain type of guy to be an owner.
I don't
Cheap.
know. I don't know if cheap's the word either. I think I think
Maybe it's not cheap.
I think
'Cause, I mean,
you
it
got to be
sounds
a
like-
damn good negotiator, and guess what he's doing?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
This is the pressure. He's applying pressure now.
And I mean, it's not my money. And it sounds like he's rich people tight.
yeah.
He's not actually tight. But when we're talking about these high stakes things, he's rich people tight.
Well, he's worth $1.21 billion now.
And the Senators.
Let's say you have a $500 million entity that every year loses you money. You don't want that.
and you're worth the 1.2,
Yeah.
and you see
So
that
here's-
number start to go tick, tick,
If
tick,
I
tick,
only
tick.
have $1.2 billion, okay, let's say
Only.
here's this: if I have $1,200,
First of all, I'm so sorry,
okay,
Adam.
if I have $1,200, I am not going out and investing my $500 of my $1,200 in a losing proposition.
Yeah.
In something that year after year, or like if I have $1,200 cash
In
flow,
stock.
I'm not spending 500 of it on a bad car payment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing that. My car payment's going to be somewhere in the 1 to 200 level, and yes, that's not very, that's not the best car in the world, but quite frankly, that's all I can afford.
And then let's say you did do the $500 investment, and then every day you're looking at that and you're saying, why am I spending $500 on this? And then it would annoy you. And eventually you crack and you say something dumb.
It also seems like, and again, so hey, we asked about the Phoenix pay system last show, and we got some good responses for that. So,
By the
Ottawa
way,
fans,
pay's still off, right?
it's still off. That's so unacceptable. That's so bullshit. But
Knowing the government, they'll have to have a committee go in and investigate for a year at cost to the public pay.
and do I get interest? No.
No.
Weird. Sorry.
You don't.
So Ottawa residents and fans, I want to gauge you on this. Would a new arena in Lansdowne be the sort of thing that would be beneficial to the city to have?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I get the impression this is different than Calgary or Edmonton. I don't know enough about Edmonton. I get the impression this is a little different than Calgary because you're moving at a significant distance. You're not knocking down the old one and rebuilding a new one.
One of the tweets I got was that they, the reason a lot of people won't go to the game is actually the distance. You know, he said, forgive me, I forget who sent this to me, but
It was Greg.
It was Greg. Okay, it's Greg.
Greg Twitterman.
So Greg Twitterman says, Greg Twitterman, he said, to get to a game, I've got to be on a bus by 6 o'clock at night. Takes me an hour to get there. Then I have to pay for my ticket. Then I have to get back, and it's an hour back on the bus because I don't have a car. And even if he did have a car, it's expensive to park the car.
And I've taken the highway there a few times, but it was in off times, and like it wasn't for NHL games. And I just remember looking like to my left and right and going, okay, in traffic, this would be frigging unbearable. And then I did it once. Sucked. It really, really sucked.
Yeah. So, I mean, just on that alone, it's a better business move. But how long, you have to look at it in business terms, how long, if you spend $500 million on an arena, when does that pay itself back? If it ever does.
I have no idea. It's weird to me that like government is still like the big Ottawa industry that we talk about. You know what I mean? Like it's a big enough city that I feel like it should be other things. Right? Now we're getting into business.
Well, that's what everybody does there. I mean, that's just it's the lifeblood of the city, right? And the money in politics in Canada is nothing like what it is in the States. Like in Washington, it's a government town, but there's some big money floating around there, obviously.
There's a lot of golf going on. So
there is a lot of golf going on. Hey, you know who's most excited about Eugene Melnick's comments?
Sportsnet, TSN, and every other sports broadcaster.
Not just them. Jonathan Drouin.
Oh, why is that?
Mister, I'm going to cough up the game-winning goal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Man, nobody is talking about that. But holy moly, that was bad. And everybody makes mistakes, man, but wow.
Oh, that's where you were going?
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's exactly where you nailed it. Yeah.
No, because he can sit there. He can sit there. Jonathan Drouin can sit there. Max Pacioretty can't sit there. If he coughs it up, oh, forget it.
But
that's what we talk about for the next week. But Jonathan Drouin can sit here.
Because Drouin sits here.
Yeah. Everyone is actively cheering for him to succeed. One day they might kick him off the table, but right now it's him and Chris Russell sitting there.
Leon too.
Leon, oh yeah. And they're just having a whale of a time. He can sit there. Poor Max Pacioretty. They've never let him sit there.
Matthews is sitting there too. Hasn't earned it.
Okay. Okay. Actually? Like, is that based on anything? Please tell me it's not.
What, that they're trying to trade Max?
Oh, I thought, no, he said Matthews.
I said Matthews.
Oh, Matthews. Oh, yeah, no one's trying.
See, Berkshire texted me today, and he goes, you know, Austin Matthews, injury prone? We gotta ask the question. And like, he was just kidding, but I was like, I didn't have time to like do a Twitter reference.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, if this is based on anything, I'm gonna kill that person.
I'm allergic to shots to the head. What was it?
No, it was Dean McCammond after he got like Superman hit by oh my God, what's his name? Steve Downie back in the day. And you know, it's like his third or fourth concussion of his career, you know, veteran. And some reporter goes, do you think you're concussion prone? He goes, no, I think I'm prone to traumatic blows to the head. Like anyone who saw that, hit was not like, you know, if someone with stronger brain fluid got hit, he probably would be okay.
A harder skull.
Jesse, just look up Dean McCammond, Steve Downie. Like, I just want you to see it. Can you picture what I'm talking about?
Do you remember the hit? I have not seen the hit, no.
Okay, if it happened today, Steve Downie would have been suspended for 4 lifetimes.
That reporter might have also been suspended too, because you think about concussion prone. Like, in the context of the time.
Dude, that's 10 years ago.
I know.
Maybe.
But that's what I mean. That's how much things have changed. Like, context of the time sort of makes sense. Because that's how people thought back then. They thought of concussions as, like, wrist injuries.
That quote happened within... I know! That quote happened after I started making videos. So it was within the last decade. I know! That was an exhibition game. Yeah, here we go. He's coming around behind the net. It's just the classic. And he's
Jesus.
Off his feet before. It's like he jumped over the red line to catapult. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Wow.
And weirdly, McCammond was unconscious, Okay, so there's
What's
two
the
flyers.
what's the conversation?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Listen, he meant to jump feet first into his shoulder.
Right.
He meant to-
Does Kapanen have a parent who played for the Flyers?
Yes.
Yeah,
Sammy.
that's Sammy Kapanen.
That was Sammy Kapanen.
Yeah.
Who played in the NHL less than 10 years
like,
ago.
what did Downie do?
Yeah.
What did he
Come
do?
on, man.
That's like,
Stick
man.
up for Steve Downie. Of all the people to not stick up for, it's
Who was a
Steve
rookie?
Downie.
He was a rookie. That was an exhibition game, and he got suspended, I want to say,
did-
20 or 30 games before his career began.
Steve Downie did some stuff in junior that was so bad.
Oh, my God.
If you will,
He's sitting in the penalty box.
worst. No, but imagine
I
a
think
reporter.
eventually...
Oh, okay.
Imagine a reporter asked that question today in
Couldn't
those
do
words.
it. You couldn't do it.
Because it's not a real question. It doesn't mean anything, and it's also inappropriate.
Well, and you know what's funny? That followed Erik Lindros around his entire career.
Yes, I remember that people go, "Wow, he's concussion." He keeps putting his head down. What?
Yeah.
No, he keeps getting Scott Stevens steamrolled.
So this is
across
the,
the
thing.
blue line.
Didn't it come out that there was actually something to that? Like there was, his head and his brother's head were somewhat different than the average head or whatever. But anyone who watches that old playoff beating Scott Stevens right to the melon of Lindros.
Tell me
how many people were tutting going, concussion prone.
There's that pretty boy Erik Lindros can't get up from a Scott Stevens hit.
Now,
Honestly.
I would like to think like Mikhail Grabowski might be concussion prone because he literally skates brain first into everything.
Well, it's like Sidney Crosby, right? He's a brain first skater. He's a brain first guy.
See,
When he goes into the corner, I'm like, I'm scared.
See, I don't think of him. I think of Taylor Hall.
Ooh.
Like, I remember watching him in junior and just going, I don't know how long his NHL career is going to be.
I felt that way about Ovi too. When he first started in the league, he was throwing his body around at everybody, and it's like, you don't need to, man. You don't
Alex
need to do that.
Ovechkin is on pace for 55 goals.
Did you see his goal Saturday night?
Yes.
That overtime winner? One of the guys on the team goes to his guys, stop, I got him. And Ovi just
No.
walks in, wham, in. Oh, it was amazing.
He's
it was amazing.
got supreme confidence. It was like the goal that was scored. I want to say it was the first goal of the game where he got a hat trick against the Leafs.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan Riley had him. He just shoots it right in his face. Just goes right by him. But yeah, Ovechkin was a guy who 3 or 4 years into his career, I'm like, you can't consistently lead your team in goals, assists, points, and hits. Your body's going to fall apart.
Yeah.
And now here he is in his 30s on pace for 55
Yeah, ask
goals.
Cam Neely about that, right?
Yeah. Like, how is he this durable?
So according to Chris Johnston, in an article written for Sportsnet.ca by
killing it this
by
year.
a Mike Johnston. I'm not even kidding.
Yes, no, yeah, he's the resident MMA expert.
Ottawa will consider significant moves if the team misses the playoffs, to the surprise of nobody. I mean, that's what they should do. That would be the smart move. Mark Stone is apparently likely to get about $7 million a year. So when you've got Bobby Ryan and you've got Dion Phaneuf and you've got Karlsson's deal coming up, like Bobby Ryan and Dion Phaneuf together are over $14 million.
They'll have, if they sign Mark Stone to that money, they'll have 3 $7 million players before Karlsson's contract expires.
And he's unlikely to be made available for trade, which is surprising to me. Peugeot might.
Not to me. Like, Mark Stone's fantastic. He's a really good player. That's a ton of money, but he's a really good player.
What do you do? What do you do?
You look at trading a guy like
'Cause you can't buy anybody else.
Ironically, a guy like Peugeot is exactly the sort of guy you need. You need affordable talent, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're heading into a rebuild, will the Sens ever go into a full rebuild?
I mean, I think it would be.
They need
I think
people
they need
to
it.
go. They
Yeah.
need people to go to the games, or they'll friggin' leave, like we just found out. But the fans got to earn it.
Well,
The fans. Now, okay, so I compound that, and this is why, it was so good to see so many, well, not good, but I think you know what I mean. So good to see so many fans responding to everything the Ottawa Twitter account wrote with hashtag Melnick out. Because they were so fed up with this guy. So I asked about the Phoenix pay system last episode. I don't remember.
Which is, by the way, the government pay system in Canada for employees in Ottawa.
Right, and a lot of
pay.
Sens fans are like, well, people can't afford to go to the games because they literally don't have money because they've earned this money and the government hasn't freaking given it to them, which is shocking. So I don't remember how I worded it. Maybe I was careless with my words, but someone said that I said something along the lines of, oh, so this is the excuse people are making, or I don't know exactly what I said. What I meant was this is the reason why people aren't going, not the excuse. Oh, you don't have any money. Like, of course I wasn't saying it like that. But you hear something like, well, the fans are going to have to earn it. And then you take into account they literally don't have the money. But they should, is the crazy thing. It's not that there's no money to be had in Ottawa. No one makes any money. These people should have the money. It's so much more insulting to hear Melnick say what he said. So much more insulting. That's bullshit. I don't know. What were we on?
We're talking about who they could consider trading.
Oh, right.
Mike Hoffman's another name that comes up.
There's another guy who...
$5.1 million salary cap.
He makes $5 million?
Yeah.
I thought he made way less than that.
3 years remaining, 5.1875. I don't know how they came to 5.1875, but that's what they did.
I love contract.
No, I'm gonna go. I want that extra $5 on the end of it.
No.
500, but still. Here's the other
Please
thing.
trade Derek Brassard. He's in my wife's pool and he's doing very poorly. Please trade him.
They have a $68 million payroll,
That is about to shrink.
and they need to shred it. They need to shed big time. If they do rebuild, your rebuild to me centers around trading Erik Karlsson. And I know that sounds terrible, but think about this. Is there a better chip to rebuild your team with? Is anybody going to give you a better chance? Your best two chances are finishing with the lottery, which they may do. But I think they're actually too good to finish with the lottery, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, if you miss the playoffs, you're in the lottery.
Yeah,
right?
but you know what I mean? Like a legitimate shot.
Five.
Fine, yeah. You got to be down where the Oilers and Sabres are.
Yeah, I didn't think they were third round of the playoffs good. I also don't think they're bottom 5 team bad.
Which is potentially the worst place to be.
You know, that's where the Leafs were for a very long time.
And that's not a good place to be. You don't get any stars.
If I'm Mark Stone,
the Leafs also managed to draft terribly. I mean, it's not like people were not drafted in the second round who are not stars now.
Exactly. But if I'm Mark Stone, and it doesn't look like Karlsson's going to get re-signed, my number goes up. Not only because you can afford it more, but because you're going to have to pay me more to play without Erik Karlsson.
Well, do you even go there at all?
Well, that's what I'm saying, Brooksy.
I mean, that's another piece. I understand wanting to re-sign Mark Stone because he is awesome. But is that not another piece where you go, man, sure could get a haul. Look what we had to give up for Duchesne. And Duchesne's another guy.
Oh my God.
I know you just got him, but...
The second Duchesne sweepstakes, I can tell you what you're going to get. Less! A little bit less. Boy, no, I think you just gotta... It's funny.
Watch the Hawks get Duchesne. You just guarantee it. Stan Bowman's going to swing a deal.
Oh, my God. The Sens are paying over $13 million for two guys who were great when they got there. And that's Bobby Ryan and Matt Duchesne. And it just doesn't really seem to be working out except for a few flashes. I think Duchesne will get it back.
Bobby Ryan seems to have got his groove back.
What's going on?
I don't know, man.
What's going on there? Matt Duchesne is a fantastic player. What's going on? Why is
he putting it over the net when he set up perfectly?
Like,
I don't know.
Am I being naive in asking why is Kyle Turris having so much success and why is Matt Duchesne struggling? Is it simply a matter of, well, Steve, the Preds are better? And I mean, they are. Is it that simple? Come on. Like, he's a center. He's a top flight center. He's supposed to be the difference maker. You know, it's not like years ago we're talking about like, oh, you know, Phil Kessel can only do so much from the wing. Like, no, you were the change. You're the difference maker. What's going on? You're the tide turner. I still don't understand that move from Ottawa's perspective, really.
Duchesne?
Yeah, I don't get it.
I think it was just because they needed a stopgap for Turris. They knew they weren't going to re-sign him. I mean, his comments said it. Do you really think Kyle Turris makes those comments about Eugene Melnick if there wasn't some sort of shred of truth? Do you really think he's going to go out there and start lying about that?
Yeah, why would he do that? I mean, he's
got
happy,
nothing.
he's in a good situation.
He will not win anything. He will gain nothing by lying about that. So there's got to be some sort of shred of truth. Now, there's always one side and the other side, and then it's the truth, the middle. But I think that there's got to be somewhere in there where the owner didn't want to commit to him for whatever reason. And, you know, Pierre Dorion can say all he wants about all the decisions that go through him. The owner's the owner, man. We all know.
I feel
if
bad
you ever work for a small business, you know the owner kind of is the decision maker. You can be the GM all you want.
When Pierre Dorion is inevitably fired, because
poor guy,
everyone gets fired, right? So maybe he has another good 5 years or whatever. Is he going to be able to get another GM job again?
Well, I think he'd get an assistant GM and then work himself up.
Maybe. Well, see, he spent so long working himself up. But I think a lot of GMs, when there's ownership meddling, like they're poison. Like you can't be touched for a long time because people evaluate you on the moves you made in the past, but they weren't even really your moves.
Well,
look at a guy like John Ferguson.
If that's how you're making moves in that context, if that's how you're hiring people, you know, we can only base it on the results. Well, that's stupid.
That's the entire hockey community. So I agree.
Context matters.
That's how it works.
Yeah, that's
how it works.
I mean, I think in any situation you're going to have some ownership input. It's just a matter of how you handle it. And Pierre Dorion, I think, has done a very good job of handling this, considering what he's had to deal with. Who could do about, like, what else could he have done? Right? To me, I look at him and I go, that's strength of character. He got up there and he sucked it up. He didn't allude to anything. He towed the company line, and he did pull off a trade for Matt Duchene this year. As much as I'm not crazy about that or the Alex Burrows deal, I mean, he's doing what his owner asked to do.
The Burrows deal was justifiable. I didn't like it either, but it was justifiable. And there's another guy you can maybe trade. I don't even know. Mm-hmm. Poor Sens. I don't get it. You know what's great? We haven't talked about how bad the Leafs have been this entire time.
Well, we do need to get to that.
They haven't played a game.
But we're not getting there yet.
Well, the Sens are 10 points out of a playoff spot, and the Leafs are happily in one.
Yeah, happily in.
Now.
Happily in. Hey, by the way, I noticed in the standings, if the Bruins were to win all the games they have in hand on the Leafs, they would actually pass them. The Bruins have been sneaky hot. They've been very sneaky hot.
They have to win all the games that they have in hand, though.
They do. They do. But, I mean, the Leafs have been tanking.
Question for you.
Tanking.
For 3 games. It's a 3-game crisis, Jesse. Tanking.
We went 82 games and finished in last.
You know what? The Leafs have had a problem on the right side, and they're going to get some help with Rasmus Dahlin.
Yeah, they had a bad week. Listen to you.
They're tanking.
I mean, they came off a really brutal road trip. They were you could tell they're exhausted. How did Detroit come in and outplay them? Also,
not only was it chip and chase hockey, but it was shit. Chip and chase hockey. They look bad.
The thing is that the identity of the team right now is in question. And I have a real problem, and I think everybody's starting to have a real problem with the way that they are playing. But there seems to be an intention to it. We know they can play one way, and it's like what you said last episode, Steve. It's like he's trying. There's a message trying to be sent here.
Yeah.
But I just wonder how long they send it, because quite frankly, it doesn't make sense. Like, if we just want to get into it, team can't score goals. Why is Leo Komarov, who's got like one, playing 18 minutes a night?
18 minutes. He played 21 minutes in that game against Pittsburgh.
This is the worst season I've ever seen him have.
It's terrible.
He's not been good at all.
Do you remember what happened in the first game of the season?
No, I don't.
Got a penalty for his visor.
Oh, yeah.
Is it his stupid visor?
No.
I'm seriously asking this question.
It's
is
not
it
his stupid visor.
Okay, but
by the way,
this bad.
Do they still give out penalties for jersey tucks? Because his jersey is most definitely tucked in most games.
It's one of those things they ignore. You know what they don't call? To the point where I'm actually not certain what the rule is? The trapezoid rule. Anymore.
No, I know.
How does that rule work?
Which trapezoid?
The one behind the net?
Where goalies can't play the puck?
They definitely call that. It's just a little. They give a little leeway.
They do give a little leeway.
The edge.
So that's the thing.
What's
You can't
the
go in
penalty?
there and stick your stick in there? You can't do that. That's a penalty.
I've seen it.
Not like directly. If you, I swear, if you look on the play that you're referring to, it's not in.
The puck can't be in there. Your foot can't be in there.
Do you want me to pull up the rule book?
Because I swear I've seen it 1,000 times
pull up
lately.
the rule book.
Go ahead. I've seen it 1,000 times lately, and I'm like, well, sorry. I guess we just don't call that anymore. Has there been one in any of the 34 Leaf games this season? Not one that I can think of. I mean, goalies are programmed now, but Not one that I can think of. Sorry, what were we talking about before?
I was going to ask about
completely
assists, but
derailed
since we're
us.
going to the Leafs. Zaitsev's on the IR.
Oh, yeah. Called it Marincin, which I think makes a ton of sense.
Yep. Dermott actually went down on Friday, which kind of sucks because he might have got a call up. Might have.
I don't think so.
Connor Carrick will get. Did you know that Connor Carrick hasn't played in December?
Holy
Mike
shit.
Augello at Mike in Buffalo told me that. I was like, what?
That's
He
unbelievable.
hasn't played since November? That's insane. That's crazy. And what a shock. They've been in their worst stretch.
Weird. Well, I'm not going to blame it just on that. It's not like Connor Carrick. He's the straw that stirs the drink.
You mean Connor Erickson?
Yeah.
The straw that stirs. Why do people start saying? Where
I
did
don't
that
know.
saying come from?
I
The
have-
straw that stirs the. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't know why.
I don't get it. I don't like it either.
Ugh. Anyway,
The straw that stirs the trendy hipster coffee that Connor Carrick likes to drink on his Instagram and Instagram story.
there you go.
He's just a wholesome Instagram follow. You'd never know he's a pro hockey player. Hey guys, Connor Carrick.
Drinking coffee.
I just like my thick frame glasses and my dog and my coffee.
The rule
And
is
aggressive squats sometimes.
the rule is simply the goaltender may not handle the puck outside of the trapezoid behind the goal line.
Okay. Wait, that's literally just the entire rule?
That's the rule.
So if the
It's pretty
skates
big.
go in the other part, does that mean he's handling?
Yeah, because goalies play it in the trapezoid all the time.
If the puck is,
Well, no,
Or,
the
sorry, the-
trapezoid is the area where you
right,
can play.
sorry, the
other-
corner area, whatever
Yeah.
you
because
call it.
if your puck and your stick are in the trapezoid, but the skates are not, then that would be okay.
I swear
Yes.
I see it all the time.
That's okay then, yeah.
And it's only
kinda makes
in
sense
by
that it
like
would
a
be.
foot. But
What are you gonna play like? If you step on this crack, you fall and break your back with them. Like
Isn't
they're-
that the
this-
rule?
No, it's not. It's not. Very
if
clearly,
the
it's not
puck
the rule.
goes near the goal line, that's a goal, right? If it's in the crease,
You're gonna
like,
have to
that's
provide.
close.
I haven't seen this. You're gonna have to
Yeah,
provide examples, man.
I don't think it's happening all
Yeah.
I
the
feel
time.
like it's not being clipped.
You're gonna
It's
have
not
to-
exactly,
because I feel like it's not happening.
it's happening.
You're gonna have to,
100%
you're gonna have
happening.
to
It
Tyler
happens every
Dello this
game.
one and just get gifts for us and put it into an article. Okay.
I guarantee we get a bunch of people on Twitter going, "Thank you," because I
For
pointed out
stopping Steve in his
happens all the
tracks.
time.
That's what it'll be.
Just because a bunch of people on Twitter agree with you doesn't mean it's true.
Twitter agrees.
No, but they noticed the same
A
weirdness.
selection of a handful of people out of the
Steve.
30,000 who listen.
Yeah, Steve. Especially because like
First of all, no
1%
need to go numbers on me.
what is it? I
Jesse.
think what is it? 5% of social media users actually use Twitter.
Is that the number?
And of them, there's like several power users, and then most people just don't even interact
Yeah,
on it.
Most people don't engage.
Yeah. So
Are you telling me I'm not
I'm
important?
telling you, Twitter is not as important as you might
I
think.
thought it was important. I love me.
You're important to your dogs.
Anyways, it's not a thing.
See, but like, there's someone else who could feed them. You know what? Okay. Sometimes I think I'm important to my dogs, and then I come home with my wife at the same time.
Steve, I don't even think, but that's not even true. They're dogs. If you left them alone, they would go find their own food.
It's true.
I know
You're
that's
not
true
even
of
that
Charlie.
worthy.
Charlie? Okay, so hey, how come Charlie was sick and pooping everywhere the other week? So we're in the park and Iggy's running around, and I say, "Iggy, come!" And wouldn't you know it, Iggy came right over. Charlie, no, wasn't interested in that shit. So he's just walking around in his little zigzag pattern, and then I see him sniffing at the snow, and then he buries his head deep in the snow. And then he comes out chomping on something. So I sprint over, "Charlie, give me that." There's a chicken leg that he sniffed out like a wolf, buried in the snow.
Did it have some meat on it?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, so he got a good dinner.
Now, I know he'll never go hungry, but he might poop on the living room rug again. Friggin' dog.
I'm sorry that your dog got like fed for once.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Right?
Wow. Wow.
I think the question needs to be
Wow.
asked: does Steve feed his dogs?
No.
I mean, people need to ask the question.
The night he pooped everywhere, I got home at midnight and went to the 24-hour metro up the street and bought beef and rice, cooked it at midnight for my dog. I'm a good dog owner.
Why are you feeding your dog
a good
like
dog-
human beef and rice?
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do when they have diarrhea.
You're supposed to feed them dog food.
No,
No,
that's what he eats usually.
Beef and rice does do the trick.
No,
It
but the
plugs
beef
things.
and rice version of the dog food, they have those.
Oh, you mean like the pellets?
Yeah, why aren't you
Well,
feeding him that?
because that doesn't That doesn't do the trick.
I don't know.
It doesn't have the same effect.
You guys don't know dogs.
No, I like what
Let
Jesse's
me
doing.
tell you about dogs.
I like
All
what
right,
Je-
all right.
Here, you know what? I'm going to get on Twitter and start lecturing mommy bloggers. Here, just 1 second.
That's funny.
I'm just going to tell. Meanwhile, my entire career is telling hockey players they're bad at hockey.
Oh, no. Listen.
Hey,
So the
Jesse,
Leafs.
I'm going to do this ridiculous scenario. Oh, wait, I live that ridiculous scenario.
So the Leafs. Let's talk about the Leafs quickly for a second here.
Yeah.
The style of play is very clearly not working. They're getting outshot to hell. Why are they playing this way? This is not the way they were playing at the beginning of the season. It seems to be something they've been doing the last 20 games. Why are they mediocre possession-wise? Why is William Nylander only playing 14 minutes a night when he's their number one center? What's going on?
To humble them or to teach them how to play a different style, make sure they know how to play different styles. I really don't have an answer for you. You know what? Okay, so I got to listen to Hockey Central at noon on the way in, which is extremely rare, and it was Darren Millard, Gord Stellick, and Colby Armstrong, and they just kind of had a calm, all right, let's look at what's going on here, conversation about it. And Millard,
That's so unlike our show.
yes.
Let's have a hysterical look at everything.
And then, of course, Kip Rose is on there half the time with McLean, and it's getting traded.
Hey!
I drafted Rick Nash. And, stuff like that.
I knew Sherdev.
Yeah, I knew it. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. You son of a.
NHL Network.
Yeah.
Across America.
So it was just kind of a nice conversation, and Millard made a great comparison. He's like, it's almost like this season so far has been like Babcock has a curriculum for the team. And first semester, we're doing fly by the seat of your pants, scream at the top of your lungs, do whatever the hell you want, fun. Second semester is the opposite. First semester was defense against the Doc Otts with Professor Lupin.
Second is potions.
Is potions with Snape. Right now, the Leafs are in potions with Snape, and it sucks. And every time they speak back to Babcock, 50 points from Gryffindor, so they shan't speak up.
Right.
They're just having a terrible, terrible time. Also, they don't have Matthews, but I mean, they've had plenty of games where they looked fine without him. I don't really. Maybe okay. So you go into playoff scenarios. Maybe you have to play certain ways against other teams, and Babcock just wants to make sure this team knows how to do it. But here's my question then: against whom is this style good? It sucks.
But can you win 4 out of 7 games playing like the 80s Edmonton Oilers like they were playing?
Can you win 4 to 7 games like this?
I don't know.
man,
Do you have a better shot?
They've had
Probably.
I don't think so.
historically good goaltending. I mean, that's to me what's got them through the stretch. When you
Is
have a
it
goal,
Is their style helping the goaltending?
that's
I
a good
would
question.
say so.
You think so?
Because at the beginning of the year, their goaltending was definitely
They
not
are-
being helped by
Yeah.
not playing defense.
Yep.
See, the numbers, I think the numbers disagree with that, but just by my eye, they're giving up fewer really dumb chances in front.
And they're getting
And what's
less
amazing is
great
most
chances.
fans, I
Yeah.
think, would agree with that. They'd be, they go, "Oh, Freddie's been amazing," and yeah, you know what? The team's giving up fewer dumb chances too. And I'd be like, "Yeah, but you crucified Freddie at the beginning of the season." Like,
Yeah.
no,
Oh my
he-
God, the tweets I got about Freddie's got to go.
I
got
agree he
tweets
wasn't that awesome, but the chances they were giving up were brutal. Like, I don't think any goalie would have put up with that. Example, Carey Price at the beginning of the season. I don't fully know. And it's just a shame that they're playing this style without Matthews. Because what if it worked? Like, what if this style just accentuates their weaknesses? Which it might. I don't get it. I guess, I don't know. I don't get it. I really look forward to them leaving this style.
Well, I wonder when that happens. That's my question. When does it happen?
Is Mike Babcock not as good of a coach as we thought?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think that's it.
I don't
No,
know.
man. Wait, I mean, come on.
They're tanking.
They're not tanking. They lost 3 games in a row, guys. Come on.
The other comparison that Millard and Stellick or whatever made was it's And I maybe, I don't know, do either of you golf?
Not well.
I've retired.
Oh, okay. Me
I got
too.
frustrated.
Me too. Yeah. Like it's like improving your golf swing. You got to make it worse first.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I had a gym teacher that said this will get worse before it gets better.
Stingrays. I learned this from the Toronto Zoo. When a stingray gets a laceration, gets a cut, the cut gets worse as it heals. Like it gets larger before it can heal itself.
Wow.
So is this I don't know exactly what they're taking out of their game or improving in their game, but is this them going, all right, look, we know this isn't perfect, but we are going to play this way until we get it right. Then I'll give you a little bit more leash. That's got to be it. Babcock has enough leash, for crying out loud, that he deserves some benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
But I am baffled.
And I'm concerned.
Carlisle played the same way for like 3-4 years.
Oh.
That was what it was. This is clearly not the way it is in Leafland. So that's what's confusing to me. But to Jesse's point, sorry. To Jesse's
I know, I'm listening.
to Jesse's point, you're just like, because I'm like, so Jesse said, no, to Jesse's point, it's not like the way they were playing at the beginning of the year, where they were winning as well, was sustainable either.
No,
So-
of course not.
So what's the happy medium?
I think they're
wonder
looking for
What's
that.
the end
They're
goal
looking
here?
for that.
Because I don't know what it is.
I think it might be that high flying offense, but a little bit of structured defense, which we said on this show is something they needed. Like it was very clear that on the, with those first 10, 15 games that they were flying high and scoring 8 goals a game, that they
and
needed
giving up 7.
Giving up 7, right?
Yeah.
Like somebody needed to come back. So I guess this is kind of Mike Babcock going, okay, I'm gonna drive this into you for a bit, so that way it becomes a habit. So that when we do unleash the offense, this is still part of the habit too, right? You want to play that. We know you know how to play offense. We get that. You're going to have to learn some defense. And he's right. He's right.
Is it worth losing games?
It might be to get the message across. They got games that they could lose.
I don't think
that make
they're
sense?
intentionally
That's
losing
not
games.
good, no.
I don't think they're intentionally losing games, for sure. But
Yeah, obviously.
if you go, like, okay, how terrible of a lesson is it if you're trying to instill a certain thing in a team and then you're losing a game and you go, go back, do the other crazy shit that you were doing? And no, that's a terrible lesson. To answer your question, when does it go back? They got a 6-game homestand to start January, and they likely have Austin Matthews back by then.
That's what I'm fired about.
Woo!
He skated today, by the way.
He did.
but he didn't practice.
No, I imagine he won't play in the next Century game, which is awful. LeafsNation.com wrote an article that I thought was kind of funny. That was, the next Century game is the perfect opportunity to name Austin Matthews captain.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's too,
That's actually wrong.
it's too
that is
symbolic and cute for
It's also a
today's
terrible
Leafs.
idea.
It's too symbolic
No.
and cute for today's Leafs.
Hey,
They're not for
so
it.
this thing is about the team and where we're going. Let's all make it about this one guy.
In the
Like, that's not a
Emilio
good idea.
Estevez production of the Toronto Maple Leaf season, that's what they
That's
did.
a Hallmark Christmas movie.
Yeah, in real life.
no,
you
he
think Lou Lamoriello is seduced by that shit?
No, you know when he gets named captain? The day he signs his extension.
Wow, so you think they play without a captain next year too?
No, I think he signs the extension July 1st. I think
wow.
they've negotiated it already, even though you can't. Don't tell me they haven't. And I think July 1st they announced or July 2nd they have a press conference. They announce the free agents, and then they bring Austin Matthews out. They surprise everybody. Bingo, extension, and here's the captain.
Yeah, I think he nailed it. I think you nailed it.
right.
That's what I would do. I don't know. So anyway, we'll see what happens with the Leafs and the historic Carolina Hurricanes tomorrow at 2:00. Now, I tweeted that out, and somebody said, "Well, listen. To be fair, Carolina's done a lot more in terms of history than the Leafs have in the last 15 years." I'm like, "You're actually right. I mean, a couple Stanley Cup Finals appearances. How do you argue with that?"
That's true. They went to the Stanley Cup final twice,
And they
won
won.
one of them.
Yeah.
Damn it!
Who are the top assist leaders this year so far? Can you name them?
I think I know where you're going. Stamkos, I think, is up there.
He's number 2. How many do you think he has?
30.
31 in 32 games played.
Wow!
Now,
He's almost an assist per game.
Can you name number 1?
Is it Eastern Conference?
Yes.
Metro Division.
Yes.
Islanders.
No.
It's not. Oh.
Tampa Bay.
No.
I thought it was. Yeah.
Surprising, actually.
So it is
it's
Metro
quite
Division.
surprising. It's Metro Division, but it's surprising that a player on this team, not the player, but the team, would be surprising.
Devils?
Flyers,
Oh, is it Voracek?
33 assists in 32 games.
Jakub Voracek. How many goals?
7.
Oh, all right.
And
Wow, he's a playmaker, man. He's a pure playmaker.
and think about along the lines of there's a team you mentioned before who's got a lot of assists on that team.
Josh Bailey
He's
is
killing it.
having a... There are 2 guys on that team who at the beginning of the year I would have been like, oh yeah, second, third line players. Josh Bailey and Anders Lee are just...
Do you remember the Anders Lee stat?
That blew my mind. That blew my mind. That was another one. Again, I keep
Let me see
bringing
if I
up...
still have it.
So anyway,
Keep bringing up Mrs. Dangle's hockey pool, but I saw one of her friends drafted Anders Lee. I was like, why?
Josh Bailey. Josh Bailey's got 31 assists in 33 games, 40 points total. Wow. And the reason I wanted to bring this up is because the other day somebody said Phil Kessel with the assist, his 23rd on the season. I was like, whoa, what? So I
Phil
looked it
Kessel's
up.
having a crazy season.
He is 9th in assists with 23. He also has 15 goals to add to that. So in 34 games, he has 38 points. That's not bad. That's a pretty good season so far, considering he doesn't even play with the top 2 centers. From time to time, he does.
And he's over 30, isn't he?
Phil?
Kessel?
Yeah, I think
Or
he is
no,
by this
he's our draft.
Well,
He's our draft, so he'd be 29, 30.
the reason I bring this up is that Phil's having a great year, but the Penguins, by the Penguin standards, are not.
They're having a very middle of the pack to good year.
Like last year, if the Leafs were where the Penguins are, which I think they were, we were like, wow, the Leafs, look how great they are. And the Penguins are like essentially where the Leafs were last year, and they're freaking worried about it.
I gotta bring up the goofy standings.
They're a
you
point
do?
out of
Where
a
are they?
playoff. They're 2 points out of a playoff spot.
This one.
They're 2 points out of a playoff spot.
That's insane, but wait now. Forget the Eastern standings, Adam. The Metro Division. The top team, the Capitals, because LOL, 43 points. The bottom team, there's 2, and they're tied. Philly and Carolina.
Carolina, who we thought might make the
35
playoffs
points.
this year.
Yeah, 35 points and 35 points. Pittsburgh, though, 37 points, 2 points up on those 2 teams. They've played 2 more games than both of them. So I believe in points percentage, Pittsburgh is actually last in the Metro Division.
Wow.
The reigning Stanley Cup champions, who are 17, 14, and 3.
Wow.
Are third last in their division right now, and in terms of point percentage, they're last. Explain that to me. They've struggled on the road, 7, 9, and 2, but even that's not terrible. 10, 5, and 1 at home. That's pretty strong. Devils have been pretty weak at home. They've been strong on the road. Like, that is just such a monstrous, stupid division. Like, I'm calling it now, pre-Christmas, 3 Atlantic teams get into the playoffs. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
That's all you get. Who's going to make the wild card, Jesse?
No, I was going to say that's not a very bold prediction.
Oh.
Yeah. That's about
I was like, don't you dare.
that
even
is the
say it.
safest prediction I think I've heard of.
I know it's safe, but, like, okay, is Montreal going to pass Carolina,
we know.
Philly, and Pittsburgh?
No, the answer is no. They're not.
And one of the Rangers or Islanders?
They're not.
No.
They're not.
And Boston. And the Leafs. I don't think so.
Not going to happen.
A lot has to happen.
So, okay. Now we need to talk about... Do we want to talk about the tweet that I sent you guys on Saturday?
I don't remember what it was.
There was an owner who tweeted something.
Oh, friend of the show?
Friend of the show. Okay, so here's... Jeff Merrick retweeted this, and it was a screen grab, and I believe the tweet has now been taken down.
Co-host with Doug McLean, Jeff Merrick.
And Elliot Friedman on their new podcast,
Oh, that's right.
the 31 Thoughts podcast.
Also Doug McLean, former Panthers coach.
I've heard that. Columbus Blue Jackets GM.
Drafted Rick Nash.
So
Did Doug McLean draft Rick Nash?
So hard. And also Gilbert Brulé over Anze Kopitar.
So, Vegas Golden Knights Twitter tweets this. Riley Smith used to play for Florida. Now he plays for us. This makes us happy, very much so. And Doug Sifu responds and goes, me too. Now, Again,
I believe
tweets
his-
taken down.
Oh.
I believe it. His
No,
rebuttal.
here. Let's wait.
Go ahead.
Well, I that's all I really have to say. I can't confirm that it's real because all I can see is the screen
No,
grab.
he responded to it, so it's real.
It's real.
He did respond to it.
Yeah.
What did he say?
Well, if Merrick retweeted it.
Oh, Merrick retweeted it. Yeah. But thoughts? Doug Seafood responded to this?
He did. He said, when I find it, I will read it.
Is that what he said?
I was trying to be nice, and it was totally misconstrued, so I deleted it. Misconstrued, sorry, so I deleted it. I'm happy for the guy since he's playing well. He's a good guy and always was nice to me. Actually root for the GKS since it's great for hockey. Not tonight, though.
Golden Knight?
GKs, I guess he's saying? Like Golden
VGK.
Knights?
It should be
Golden Knights.
VGK.
Not how I would say it.
GK, and then you put the S for Golden Knights.
Okay.
Oh.
Well,
And then he goes on to say, social media distorts social interaction oddly in mostly bad ways.
Oh,
I'm not perfect, but
Doug.
the reactions are almost comical sometimes.
Doug.
Welcome to the new world, I guess. Look forward to meeting you in person.
Stop
so that
it,
was in
Doug.
response to somebody who was calling him out for the tweet.
I mean, fair enough.
So it was a real tweet. He tweeted it, and then he said it was taken poorly.
How am I supposed to listen? When you're vague on social media, you leave it up to interpretation. You need to be like, you know what? I'm glad for Riley Smith and his success.
that's how you say it. That's what I was going to say.
You need to be that blunt. So I was just looking. So correct me if I'm wrong. I thought it was more complicated than this.
You're
but
wrong.
Yeah, well, there you go.
You've been
So-
corrected.
The Florida Panthers lost Jonathan Marchessault in the expansion draft and also traded
Riley Smith.
Riley Smith to the Golden Knights for a 2018 fourth-round pick. So for Riley Smith
And
and Jonathan Marchessault, the Panthers, what they have to show for it is a 2018 fourth-round pick. You think they're burning a little bit? So,
I
okay.
don't
here's
understand.
what-
Why do you expose Marchessault if you're already trading Riley Smith?
Boy, I feel like we went through
I
this.
just don't get it. I don't
we
get
went
it.
through this back in the day. We used to know teams' exposed lists a little bit better. So the Knights right now. So I tweeted this morning, and it's doing pretty well. The tweet. If Vegas goes 500 for the rest of the season, which they won't, they'll do better. If they go 500 the rest of the way, they'll get 94 points.
They're in.
They go 500 the rest of the way, they might make the playoffs anyway. To which team does Vegas have to thank the most for that?
Man.
I'm going to say Florida. Jonathan Marchessault, Riley Smith, and the guy who has already won. Close your ballot. Don't bother writing it. Gerard Gallant is going to win the Jack Adams.
Yeah, he is.
So you get the coach of the year, Jonathan Marchessault, who's on one of the greatest contracts in the league, and Riley Smith for a fourth-round pick. Woo! Woo! Vegas should suck! Why are they any good at all? So now, remember the silly conversation we had about a month ago where I was like, you know what? Vegas is not going to be able to help themselves. They're not going to be able to trade off all these pieces because they're clearly going to get seduced by the fact that they're doing well and they're going for it. It's a month later and they're doing so well that I'm like, that is the right thing to do. They should stay the course. Screw it. Focus
Go
on
for it.
re-signing your players. Trade off the ones you're not going to keep, obviously. Like, that is the one thing that may be odd come trade deadline time. Is there going to be some guys who they can't lock up and they're the deal. So that will make them an atypical playoff team. Other than that, I think they're going to keep
Hey, man,
guys.
if you can re-sign James Neal, keep him.
I think the worst case scenario is they keep all their guys because they're doing so well. They go into the playoffs. They're not able to re-sign them, and the next year they're a huge fart.
Or they re-sign them and they're a huge fart, which is even worse.
That would be worse, wouldn't it?
All right.
But how likely is that?
Very. This is the NHL.
You think? Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, everybody
Yeah.
falls in love with their own players, man, for sure.
Like, okay, the guys who have to be fart are like James Neal, Riley Smith, Jonathan Marchessault, Colin Miller,
It could happen.
William Karlsson. Maybe.
It's December 18th. How many regulation losses do the Golden Knights have in December?
I know they're single digit. Oh, in December? Well, I know it's single digit. It might be no digits. Is it 0?
It's 0. They're 6-0-1 so far in December.
They have as many regulation losses as Connor Carrick?
Yes.
That's impressive.
Wow. But they've played in 7 more games, so to be fair.
They play Tampa tomorrow night, so let's see how that goes.
Oh, man, that's a marquee matchup. Vegas and Tampa.
Juggernauts playing each
Truly,
other.
right?
Dude, it's not even that Vegas is doing this well as an expansion team. It's that Vegas had their 4th goalie in net for like a month. And now the goalie they have now is still a guy they claimed off waivers and an older guy who just came back from a concussion making saves from 2009. They're gonna...
And we gave them hell for giving up Calvin Pickard so easy.
In what year?
I mean, look at that.
They had a plan.
Well, it worked out if they did.
Okay, my question. Vegas wins the cup this year. How soon after is the movie made? You have to. They're an expansion team in Vegas. It's hockey. It's silly to begin with. And they win the cup in their first year. How soon after does the movie get made? I'm going to say 5 years.
Who directs it?
Within.
Michael Bay.
Oh, there'll be so many hockey explosion hits. And when he gets hit, he explodes.
Yeah. Fire. The real deal, James Neal.
So what we're going to do is...
This summer, Samuel L. Jackson is Gerard Gallant.
I'm tired of these motherfucking losses on this motherfucking ice.
See, that's unrealistic because he would never complain about losses.
Oh, that's true.
When did that happen?
Yeah.
That's not in the movie. That's creative license. You're giving Vegas fictional
Who does
losses.
Shia LaBeouf play?
I feel
Marc-Andre Fleury.
Marc-Andre.
He already knows the stance. Do it! No, Shia, we need you to put your left hand out. Do it! No, Shia, you're screwing it up again. Make your dreams and just...
Wow.
Shia LaBeouf. Who else is in this movie?
I know.
Who's the actress who was in Transformers and everything and then everyone got sick of her?
Megan Fox?
Yeah.
No, but it's set in Vegas, so Danny DeVito needs to make an entrance in the movie somehow.
Danny DeVito as George McPhee.
Danny DeVito as Gerard Gallant. For sure. But we need Sam Jackson in the movie.
For sure. Danny DeVito as the coach is funny, but I think Sam Jackson as the head coach he's got to be Gerard Gallant.
Hey, you're coughing the puck up, you prick. They're going to make a movie about this team.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. Who else? Who needs acting?
Who needs acting?
Who needs a job?
I think Kevin Costner should be George McPhee because he was a good Cleveland Browns GM once in a movie I saw that was really bad.
Oh, sorry. Christopher Plummer.
You know who might be in it? Jeremy Piven.
Oh.
I feel like he'd
As
be in
George McPhee.
He'd be in a bad hockey movie.
George McPhee for sure.
No, you got to bring Russell Crowe back because he was in Mystery Alaska as well. Right?
Russell Crowe as Derek Engelland.
Fight around the world.
For sure. We're going to do this.
It would be great.
I think we should produce this movie.
I think we'd be fantastic at it.
We would be.
Did the John Scott movie ever come out?
Not yet.
I have no
think
idea.
they're still in production.
Are you in it?
No.
American Wyshynski are.
I mean, it makes sense. I wonder how, menacing they're going to make them seem.
Especially
Let's get this bum in a hockey game.
Especially Wyshynski. That would, I would like to have Greg on just to ask him who would play him. Like, who does Greg want to play Greg?
I feel like I saw a lot of people say Patton Oswalt.
Oh, that'd be good.
That would be good. I mean, he's already been in a sports talk movie.
Has he?
Oh, it's so good, and I've never heard anyone talk.
Big fan?
Big fan.
No, I keep hearing that. I need
Gotta
to
watch
that
Big
movie.
Fan. Great movie.
All right, we got a couple things to get to that are non-hockey related. By the way, just want to say apologies to the Canucks for losing Brock Besser. Holy moly. I have no idea what's up, but man, You would have thought they would have blown the play dead as he was limping to the bench on his all fours with one skate.
Shout out to the Florida Panthers, who, because the Canucks are bad, are going to get Erik Branson back.
True.
Why not? I mean, they got to shed players. He's a pending UFA. Congrats for the playoff run. You know? Me too.
Yes.
I'm happy for Branson.
Yes, Jesse.
I didn't.
Oh, we've got some stuff to cover. Do we not? Do we not have some things?
Time.
We don't even have enough time. We've got time.
Nah, next episode we'll do bachelor bios.
No, we have time.
This episode, because we were supposed to do 3 things. We were supposed to do bachelor bios, supposed to do lacrosse names, and we were supposed to do California bros in the courthouse. I think we should do that today.
California Bros. Do you have the link to that?
Yeah, send me the link.
Okay, send me the link to California Bros in the courthouse. So this is great because, so I guess there's a problem, Steve, in Beverly Hills. And you're going to have to put on your headphones for this one because we've got the new audio system in.
Are people floating around the world?
So there is a problem in Beverly Hills with partying. And Los Angeles City Council is trying to crack down on partying in Beverly Hills.
I don't get it.
I know, right? There's just these enormous houses, and they're having enormous house parties, and neighbors are complaining. And the LA City Council says we can't condone this. We must crack down. We must be harder on the house parties in Beverly Hills. So instead of focusing on the real shit that's happening in LA, let's focus on the house parties.
I was about to say, you know how you know life is good? Your number one problem is too much partying.
Or maybe they're just ignoring the problems that are already there.
Or maybe they're just dicks.
Could be that too. Now, you sent it, Jess?
I did.
Okay. So, they're debating this at City Council, and a couple of party bros got in there to protest because they wanted to let everybody know.
Did they help?
They helped. They wanted to let everybody know just how much house partying meant to them. Jesse, you got your headphones? All right. Now, everybody, make sure your volume isn't up too loud because this is sort of a loud clip.
Ooh, I hear me too.
Yeah, right?
This is neat.
Identify yourself.
What up, council? My name is Chad Kroger. I'm an activist and house party enthusiast.
Dude,
Have you not heard
Name
of
is
this?
not Chad Kroger.
Obviously, you got to let the clip play though, man. You got to listen
My
to
girlfriend
speak.
Avril. Oh my God. Okay.
What up, council? My name is Chad Kroger. I'm an activist and house party enthusiast. Over the past week, I've been in a state of deep despair upon hearing the news that LA is trying to outlaw house parties in the Hollywood Hills. I am here determined to stop this future atrocity. House parties were the bedrock of my development as a young man in St.
Here, I'll pull it back. Here we go.
Parties were the bedrock.
He sounds like Dave Chappelle's character Lyle. Hi everyone, I'm Lyle. I'm here in the streets of New York.
He sounds a little like that. He sounds a little more like just like Sean Penn in Fast Times at Ridgemount High. I think that's kind of what he is.
That's L.A.
You ready?
L.A. is like 4 syllables to
House
people from
parties
LA.
were the bedrock of my development as a young man in San Clemente. My first introduction to manhood came when the captain of my water polo team, Boomer Kingsley, asked me to shotgun a tall can of Bud Light in front of the whole squad at his end of the season bash. His parents were in Tahoe at the time, so we tore that weekend up. It was epic, and I was super stoked. My newfound confidence gave me the courage to ask out the most popular girl in school, Lauren Stockholder, to prom that year. She
Is this a
rejected me,
screenplay?
and I had to go with
It's
Stacey
so good.
McMillan. But I didn't care because I was so amped on chugging with my boys. That's what house parties do. Raging at house parties is the truest
Thank
way
you.
to party.
Next.
Man, he got 90 seconds. Way to go, Chad. Okay, here. If I was the judge, here's where I would have cut it off. Can you do it at the beginning?
You want me to play the whole damn clip again? No, we're not playing
No. I'm telling you, here's where I would have cut it off.
Okay.
I'm an activist and house party enthusiast.
that's not far back enough.
Identify yourself.
What up, council? My
Enough.
name is Chad Kroger.
What up, council? Enough. Get out of my courtroom. Get out of my courtroom. What up, council? Get out.
He's not the only one.
He's not.
There's a follow-up.
See, that's the only one I've seen.
Well, no, there's another one. There's a second guy.
I need this.
Raging at house parties is
Is
the
it
truest
Thank
way
you.
to party.
Next.
Is Boomer the other
Next
guy?
speaker,
He
please
should
come
have
and
said the
identify
Turris.
yourself.
It definitely should have
What
been
up,
Anders.
council? My name.
Okay, you're never going to hear this.
sorry.
I know you want to make jokes and stuff, but you got to hear it. You got to hear it.
I don't like
You
listening.
know what's funnier than this clip? Adam trying to get you to get through the clip.
No.
Because you're missing all the jokes, man.
You know what, Adam? One day, you're going to have a bunch of little whippersnappers running around the house, and you're gonna have to fiddle with them as you get their winter boots on and shove their reluctant arms through a winter jacket. And you're going to be like, I'm prepared for this scenario. See, because I got Steve back on track for all those years.
You and Caprice are essentially the same.
Are we impossible children, Adam?
I cannot get either of you to pay attention to anything for very long. And like for last night, I put on South Park, on the Crave app. Yeah. And I put it on.
Never heard of it.
And never heard of that. On the streaming
on Show Me.
On the Show Me app.
Oh, I read about that in ELA.
So anyway, ELA. I put South Park on, and she's like, "Oh, great!" I'm like, "I'm going to play for you some of the classic Christmas episodes I grew up with because some of them are so great." So, Woodland Critter Christmas, which is one of the funny. Have you ever seen that? Mm-hmm. Oh my god, it's the best thing ever. We watched the original Mr. Hanky, which, by the way, is so funny. Like, go back and watch the first Christmas episode. It's fucking hilarious. But I made Caprice put her phone down. I'm like, you are not looking at your phone for this because you won't get it. And there's great shows that we watch, but because she keeps searching Instagram for some reason, she goes, "Oh, I didn't even like that show. I don't even get it." I'm like, because you were watching the show. So it's like, I deal with this all the time. And Jesse, when I play Jesse a funny clip, he sits there and he listens and then he laughs and he doesn't say anything.
Are you saying
he
listens
and he laughs? Jesse's my piece, is what I'm saying. Oh. Jesse keeps me grounded.
I can watch things for 2 minutes.
I have difficulty. I got through The Force Awakens on Saturday because I had most of Jesse's bottle of wine.
There you go.
See, but I don't even know about that. It's performance enhancing.
That's right. That's true. Can you do it sober?
I don't know if wine drunk is the way to do The Force Awakens.
I don't know that it's not.
You know what? The one study I did proved that it was, so I don't know. Maybe you guys are onto something.
All right, here we go with the second
bro. Right, for that 10-minute detour from this 2-minute clip.
Yeah, no, my God. Oh my God. It just makes me sad when I know something's hilarious and then no one listens to it. I'm like, listen!
Okay. You know what you need to do to get my attention every time I do this? Just go like this. Just do the impossible kid thing. Just slide out of your chair.
All right. I'm going to get bruises. I'm going to have to do it all the time.
I don't think you should do that.
No? You think it's bad for my health?
Don't listen to him.
All right, as I was doing it, I'm like, ah!
Second guy.
What up, Council? My name is JT Parr. I am also here to defend parties in the Hollywood Hills. I grew up like most kids, worried I couldn't bench 2 plates, that I wouldn't fit in, that I wouldn't find love. Then I discovered partying, and suddenly all those worries went to the wayside. I didn't need love. I had keg stands. I discovered I was great at raging, and it revealed wonderful things about myself. I could relate to bros, regardless of what kind of bro they were. I could be at a party and moon people, and everyone would laugh, be witty. Or I could play beer pong and compete with real integrity. In short, I fulfilled my potential. If you outlaw house parties, you may keep the volume down, but an externality is that you may keep people from bonding. America needs bonding. People need to put aside their differences and find common joy. There's no more effective environment for that than a freaking rager. This is best exemplified in me and Chad's relationship. We were star-crossed. He a surfer, me a bodyboarder.
Thank you. And I want to welcome you to LA Council's Bill and Ted's excellent adventure. Identify.
Dude.
It's really good, right?
Please play just the first 5 seconds again. That was such an unexpected line and so
Identify
funny.
yourself.
What up, Council? My name is JT Parr. I am also here to defend parties in the Hollywood Hills. I grew up like most kids, worried I couldn't bench 2 plates, that I wouldn't fit in, that I wouldn't find love. Then I discovered partying, and suddenly all those worries went to the wayside.
All I needed was bench 2 plates.
That's a good line, eh?
I grew up like most kids.
Now, is he talking about benching 2 plates on either side?
Yeah.
Oh,
you can't bench 2 plates? I can't.
No, I can.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus, you can?
No.
I can.
Look at me.
I can do
trying
more than a plate on each side. I don't know. I don't do my max because doing your max is a good way to hurt yourself.
Yes.
It's dumb.
Yep.
One rep and then you're done?
Don't even get me
started. Yeah, great workout. No, do 4 sets of 10.
The guy I work out with was...
Or don't do that, just do what you want for your life. It's the gym is a great way to bond with your bros.
The guy I work out with...
I bond with my my bros, Adam. Adam. and Jesse and Chad.
I'm
and
just so
Boomer.
happy that we could all be party enthusiasts and have a great time as bros. I don't know where I would be without keg stands. That's how we bonded for the first time.
It's true.
America needs bonding.
He said frickin' in court.
Yeah.
On the
Frickin'
mic.
Rager.
Frickin' Rager.
So a guy walked in the gym that I work out at a couple days ago, and he's like, my lower back hurts.
Did you tell him about?
And the physical,
ball?
the trainer that trains him is stretching him out, and he's like, so I guess he's like a physiotherapist, and he's like, so what
I
did
sure
you,
hope so.
What did you do? Because this
Some
guy,
guy.
this is one of those guys that goes to 2 gyms. He's one of those people. So one of them is a CrossFit gym.
Oh, Rich.
Yeah.
He's one of those people. Oh, well.
And so I guess in his CrossFit class, they said, he said,
do this unnatural movement over and over again
What were
until you
you-
hurt.
he deadlifted 265 pounds 10 times,
Oh, God.
20 times over.
What?
Yeah. So they were doing circuit training, and he'd have to stop and do that.
The trainer should have refused treatment.
And the trainer's like, trainer said, how long
God wants your lower back to hurt today.
So the trainer said to him, or the physiotherapist said to him, so wait a second. How long did it take you to do all of that? And he said, because you were doing other exercises. Yeah, we were doing pull-ups, we were doing bench, and we were doing like a full-on circuit train.
You're an idiot.
And this is, you're an idiot. And this guy goes,
Yeah, but I'm jacked.
and this guy goes, well, it took about an hour to do all the training. I'm assuming this is what he sounded like. Took about an hour, right? And the physiotherapist looks at me and goes, you must be kidding me, right? He said, you were doing other exercises and that? He said, did you get breaks? No, we can't do breaks in CrossFit. And he said, listen, I want you to know something. The 265, for as many as you did, should have taken you alone 2 hours. That's how a healthy person would do that much deadlifting. Forget anything else. Should have taken you 2 hours to do that. He said, you're insane. You're gonna crush your body.
Sounds like the most poisonous, unwelcoming, shitty environment.
You're supposed to take your max and then turn it into an endurance sport. That's the idea.
That is the stupidest freaking thing I've ever. You know who does CrossFit? People who weren't hurt the first time they tried CrossFit.
Yeah.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Listen, if you have training and you have perfect form and you're an athletic beast, you're a freak beast, man. Like
And you still might hurt yourself.
you still might hurt yourself, but there are people that can do it. I'm just saying, probably most people cannot, because most people, it takes them years.
I still love that gif of someone at CrossFit doing pull-ups. And there's an active counter.
Zero. Because they're
Zero.
They're doing
Zero.
what are those pull-ups called? And they show the hands.
But they're like swinging.
Yeah, the swing pull-ups. And they swing.
That's just called swinging.
And
That's
then
not a pull-up.
When he shows you the hands at the end of the clip, and literally the palms of his hands are shredded off.
Yeah, like,
And it's like, oh, if you can't function at work the next day, what's the point?
yeah, friggin' Tyler Durden.
Zero.
Jerk. Like,
Anyway,
what the hell are you doing?
that's our CrossFit ran for today.
Here, you want some workout tips from a pudgy guy who goes to the gym sometimes? Lower the weight, humble yourself, work on form, do the reps, enjoy it.
Hey, no one cares about what you've lifted more than you do. No one cares.
I don't know what my max is for anything.
Yeah, guess what? It doesn't matter. Who cares? All right, so let's talk. Let's do press conference, shall we?
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
Noise enough?
Oh, wait, I got to do the...
Dear everybody who said that Kansas City is also in Kansas, the Kansas City I was referring to is the one in Missouri.
Missouri.
So shut up, you're wrong.
Remember when you were wrong?
When
I
was
do.
Tuukka Rask drafted? It's from Lobby Dangle on Reddit.
Ooh, yes, I know this answer. 24th overall, 2005, Toronto Maple Leafs.
I'm going to say 06, just to be different.
Steve knew it. Well done. What is 34 plus 16 divided by 4? Hint. Bed mass.
That's not going to help. So 34 plus 16 is 50. Divided by 4. Oh, no. It's 12.5.
The answer is 38 because you have to do the division first. That's why.
Say that again.
You have to do division first because of bed mass.
What was the question?
34 plus 16 divided by 4.
You didn't verbally say brackets.
There are no brackets, but division comes first.
That's stupid.
It's the D in bed mass is ahead of the A.
But that's stupid. This is why I suck at math, because it's stupid. That sentences are linear. So the sentence is 34 plus 16 divided by whatever it was, 4?
Yeah, I think so.
Math is stupid.
That was pretty much it. Also, everybody wants us to know that the XFL is coming back, and we did that.
I think
Isn't
we
that
did.
crazy?
I think we did.
Yeah.
Man, what kind of gimmick crazy shit is going to happen with that now? I can't even imagine.
It's well, I mean, we gave concussion protocol a try.
Do they want to lose
tried.
money? Does Vince McMahon have that much money that he's like, yeah, I
What if
want to
it
lose
works
a pile of
this time,
cash?
Adam?
It will not work.
You don't know that.
Oh, man.
Vince McMahon is Looney Tunes cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So
That's not untrue.
No,
the
you're
answer
right.
to your question is, of course he doesn't want to lose money. He thinks this will work.
Well, best of luck to him. I wish that man luck in 2018. What is it, Jan 25? We should be expecting an announcement?
There's supposed to be an announcement about something, but the rumors are that it's XFL.
You know what?
The fans want Finn Balor. Here's the great Khali. What?
Here's what they need to do.
That's such a deep wrestling reference. How dare
It's
you?
super not. It's like two enormous names.
Adam, did you understand what he said?
No.
Thank you.
So here's what I think they need to
That's
have.
a great
When's the
call.
show going to be over?
Here's what I think they need
See,
to do.
there's another Finn Balor reference.
They need to do not XFL, XLB. So Extreme Baseball League. They need to do
XBL?
Extreme Baseball. XBL, whatever it would be.
Yeah.
Kind of like JBL.
Right? Extreme Baseball
Who's
would
a
be
wrestler?
way more fun.
He made a wrestling reference.
I know, right? I just thought it'd be kind of cool if you got speared at first base for trying to make a catch.
Or gored. It's the same thing.
But-
Who's going to be each team's rated R superstar?
You're impossible.
With zero.
Oh, I had one more thing.
10.
I had one more thing for everybody who asked.
I'm doing
I am-
verbal pull-ups. 0.
For everyone who asked, I am not leaving the podcast,
Oh, yeah.
but I've signed on to be associate producer at Tim and Sid. Also, follow me on Instagram at Jesse Blake, else you would have known this already.
Yeah.
There you.
Dicks.
And yeah, so we're going to have to record the podcast on different
little later,
days
yeah.
starting in January.
Well, I mean, we're recording it on Monday today. So.
Yeah. The thing is, we want to avoid Leaf games, so we know they either play Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday, essentially. So we'll be recording on the days that they're not playing. where
Yeah,
possible.
it's not going to be a consistent schedule.
Yeah. So,
But it'll be better that way.
and congratulations, my friend.
Oh, thank you.
That's going to be really great. I'm going to miss the hell out of you on
Whatever.
Kiss, but I
Yeah,
think
it's,
Whatever.
it's a huge
bittersweet.
huge
Whatever.
opportunity. Huge
Shut
opportunity.
up. No, congrats. When's it going to be Tim and Sid and Blake? Or would it be Tim and Sid and Jesse?
Never?
I give it 5 months.
Me too. He'll make his way on.
I'm trying to get you guys to be the show, actually. It's supposed to be Adam and Steve, and they're just going to leave and retire.
Something
We should keep the name, though.
It's fine.
that,
Welcome to Tim and Sid with Adam, Steve, and Jesse.
brand awareness. Just keep Tim and Sid. Just swap in two different
I'll
guys.
shave my head, and Adam will become Portuguese.
Yes.
We'll just be Tim and Sid.
I will be Portuguese.
He'll just have like
I'll need to take lessons from Sid, man.
It'd be
How do
great
you-
if you were just over the top stereotypes.
Oh, God.
Like you just wear red and green all the time. You have custard tarts on a giant plate in front of you at all times.
We've got Cristiano Ronaldo jerseys. He's Portuguese, right? Yeah,
You
he's
just-
Portuguese.
Yeah, you cry every time he scores a goal. Like you just openly weep.
You know, your T-shirt is literally a picture of him.
I'll be
The
bald.
bad statue of him.
Yeah.
Because I love that too, because I love him.
I'll be bald and talk about college basketball, but like Canadian college basketball.
Yeah, you know what? That
Esports.
Esports.
No, U-Sports. Sorry,
U-Sports.
U-Sports. Sorry.
That will be my thing.
U-Sports is even deeper than esports. Like, if you want to go deep into the sports hexagon,
Kick frame
U-Sports in
glasses?
Canada?
No, I 100% disagree. You know how
Esports
many
is
people
way
listening
bigger.
to this went to Western University? And they care about the damn Mustangs?
They're party bros,
Well,
bro.
we didn't go to Western. All you purple ponies are a bunch of phonies. We didn't go to
U-Sports are
Western.
huge to people who were in U-Sports.
Man, I went to a rugby game at, what school is it? What's the
Where'd
one?
you get that we didn't go to Western thing from anyway?
Oh, yeah, so...
The fire.
Yeah, I know. Where did you learn that song?
Someone who went to Guelph wrote that song, and it went like viral, like in the era of like E-Bombs World.
Oh,
so
that's
back
crazy.
in the day, and I think I made reference to the song. I was just like, "Wow, that's such a funny song." Whatever. In a video one day,
And all the Mustangs came out for you?
no, and then the guy who made the song messaged me, "Hey man, big fan of the videos," and I was like, "Whoa!" Like, that to me was a huge thing. It was like the "We didn't go to Western" guy watches my videos. That's sick.
You went all Kermit on him?
How am I not surprised that Steve does that?
Kermit? Yeah, well, he does Elmo. He might as well do Kermit, too. Look at Jesse.
Turn on the camera. Showtime. We're done. That's too funny.
Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. The Steve Dangle Podcast. Brought to you by Panago Pizza. Order at panago.com and stuff your face with deliciousness.